Mountain bikers, this video is for you if you want to jump gap jumps, but they terrify you. If you listen closely, by the end, I'm going to show you the Torso+2Tire method and exactly how this technique is going to help you have not just confidence on the jumps, but what to do, and we're going to break it down step by step. This is going to work for you, especially if you've tried for years, especially if you've been eyeing up that jump and you're like, man, I really want to do it, but I know I can't. And this is going to help you, especially if you've been riding for a long time and have never gotten around to jumping the way that you want to. My name's David Davidson. I'm the co-founder of Mountain Bike Academy, and I am making this video because I did a survey and you guys said you really liked jumping more than anything else. So that's why I'm bringing this to you right now. I'm on a mission to help 10,000 riders shred with confidence, because right now there's millions of mountain bikers in the world, and mountain biking is a whole lot harder than we are good at it. So problem with jumping is that you were told wrong. You were either told to pull up, you were told to practice thousands of times, and neither one of these things is essentially going to help you. It's either bad advice or it's based in the wrong philosophy. And the reason why is because if we can build rapid muscle memory to do the actual leading indicator of success, in other words, put the torso where it needs to be on the lander, then everything else will fall into place. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. A side note as well, gap jumps aren't just mental. It's actually true that if you are not good at gap jumps or feel fear on gap jumps, it might be that you're actually not good at jumping. I'm going to show you how to fix that right now in this video. First, you're going to need to get a tall torso here. And what a tall torso is, it means that we're standing up on top of legs that are secure. Now, if you've ever done a wall sit, or if you've ever put a lot of weight on your back or held a lot of weight and then squatted down really far, it's really hard to squat down low and hold weight up. It makes your legs tired. It also means that all the force coming down through your body gets transferred into bent legs. What we want to do is not have our legs locked, but we want to have a tall stance, kind of like if you were going to put 200 pounds on your back and walk around, you don't want to squat down and like do the limbo. You want to stand tall. Same thing on mountain biking. And the reason this is so critically important, now listen to me, it's because if you want to crash on a jump, you crouch on the jump. If you want to crash on a jump, you crouch on the jump. Pay close attention. The number one reason why any mountain biker, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, crashes on a jump, it's because you get too close to the back tire and you get compressed. When you get compressed, the bike pushes on you, and when you run out of room, it just bucks you over the front and you will crash. So you must listen to me. This is incredibly important for safety. So you must stand up tall when we're jumping, or at least do not get compressed. All right. Once you have your torso nice and tall, what it allows you to do is to control the takeoff. And jumping is 90 to 95% how you take off, because how you start the jump, if we look at this trajectory, how you start, that's going to dictate where you land. So if you pay close attention here, what you're going to see is that how you start the jump is how you finish it. Now, how are we going to do this? We're going to take a look at how we want to land the jump and work in reverse. Then I'm going to give you drills to do to build up to this. So pay close attention. The first thing we want to do is we want to look at how do we land on any kind of jump, tabletop or a gap. What we want to do is we want to land with our torso in a correct landing position. This is kind of like landing a plane. If you have the correct trajectory on landing, you just pull up and let off the throttle and you're good to go. Same thing with jumping. So what we want to do is we want to have the torso in the correct position. Now, wrong position is we're too far back, we're too far forward, or we are not over the tires, okay? All three of these can cause a crash. And so if you put your torso where it needs to be, you can always bring the bike under you. Now, it doesn't always work the other way around. Now, the second thing we need to do in order to achieve this is we also need to have the correct speed. And I have to be honest with you, the way to achieve correct speed is through a lot of practice. And if you have zero experience mountain biking, you want to start on tabletops and you want to build up to gap jumps. If you've been trying for years and years to do gap jumps though, you probably have a sense for speed, but you may not have the confidence to apply that speed because your movement on the bike isn't helping you. So I'm going to show you both how to handle both of those situations. I guess we're going to go low lighting, so let's just do it. Welcome to the dark side of jumping. All right, what we need to do on the takeoff in order to take the correct speed and use it to land in the right spot with the right place of the torso is we need to learn how to support the torso using the core. One of the big mistakes that I see with any type of mountain biking, no matter what you're trying to do, drops, jumps, gaps, cornering, is that we lean on the bars because the body isn't supported by by the core. And so one of the things we need to do is have a nice elongated spine and a nice support from the torso. If this is something that's a struggle for you, then it's a fitness thing, not a technique thing. I talk about it a lot on the channel. And you need to just have that good support of the torso using the core. When you have this, you don't have to lean on the bars and push on them. You can actually balance on top of your feet, all right? Once you have these elements in place, next we want to make sure that we do the takeoff correctly. And how we do a takeoff correctly is we're going to be dealing with a force that's pushing us up from the duration of the bottom of the jump where it's flat all the way up the takeoff, all the way to the very end of the takeoff. That's the lip or the takeoff of the jump. Now, this upward force, watch how long it lasts. It goes from here to here. And during this time, we need to either be standing up or we need to be resisting this force equally the entire time or increasing the force that we push into the bike. A good way to practice this is do the same thing you do on a trampoline. On a trampoline, as soon as our feet touch on the way down, there's not a lot of force going through the body, but down here at the bottom of the jump, this is where we can actually experience 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 G-forces, believe it or not. And that means that if you weigh 200 pounds, you got to handle 1,000 pounds of force at this instant. Ding. So at this instant, when you're handling all this force, you need to be able to stand tall. The reason why riders collapse is because their legs are bent. If you don't believe me, try to jump on a trampoline with bent legs. I don't care how strong you are, it's almost impossible. So standing tall is the most important thing we can do as we go up the jump because it allows us to handle the G-forces that the jump is putting into our body as we go up against gravity and we do it fast. Now, if this makes sense so far, go ahead and hit the like button down below. I want to spread this out to as many riders as possible. And if you want to be a good mountain biking citizen to all of our friends out there, I mean, you're talking to the Triple Crown winner here, Dave Davidson, guy with the same name twice, same wife, one wife, same kids, same paid for minivan guy. And there's only so much that I can do. I'm just a regular guy here on the internet yelling at you about bike technique, but you can do a lot. There's thousands of you that have already subscribed and millions of riders in the mountain bike universe that need to hear this advice. Go ahead and hit the like button and let's move on to the next technique. Now, the very best drills to practice handling these G-forces and putting the torso in the right place on the launch is going to be very, very simple. We want to find flat ground and you want to find a marker such as a stick, a piece of chalk, something. And what we want to do is called a standing spring, but we want to do it level. And what we want to do is jump up and down vertically so we're not moving forward or back on the bike. And we want to use just our legs to bounce on the bike and then stand up and bring the bike with us. You may get half an inch of air on this. You may get 6 inches of air. It doesn't really matter. What matters more is that you can take both tires, push into the bike with your legs, and jump and lift the bike up and bring the bike down level like this, front and back tire at the same time. What this does is it teaches your body how to control the bike in a vertical plane while you're riding forward. If you can do this, then you can influence gravity and you can influence the mass of your body up and down in a way that's controlled. Now, once you've gotten this level standing spring, tried it 10, 15 times and you can repeat it on command and unweight the bike and float for ever so slightly of a second, then we're going to move on and we're going to do step number 2. So we're going to incorporate what's called a front wheel lift with this standing spring. And so what we're going to do this time is we're only going to move straight up and down and we're going to just allow the front of the bike to come up. Now, with this one, it's very important that we don't push or pull on the hands. Let me say it again. We don't want to push or pull on the hands. The hands are along for the ride. This is a torso movement. So what we want to do is we want to, step 1, drop the torso quickly. Step 2, we want to load the pedals. And step 3, you want to stand up ever so slightly. We're going to keep the back tire on the ground. And what should happen is the front should spring up. And we're going to kind of almost catch the handlebars in our hands. Now, for those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you may know how to do this. This is incredibly important. You might want to watch my beginner basics video if you want a full breakdown of the front wheel lift. This one is critically important because it helps you independently move while creating distance between you and the bike. This will help you on the takeoff of your jumps because guess what? The front wheel, it comes up in the air before your back wheel does. This will help train you for this. Now, once you've got the front wheel lift down, you need to be able to execute this front wheel lift over the marker 30 times on command with the right timing before you move on, okay? So drill this one, come back to it multiple days if you need to, take your time. It's not something you want to skip if you want to jump safely, especially if you want to hit those gap jumps. All right, drill number 3 for putting the torso in the correct place on gap jumps is we're going to go out and find a tabletop jump. And the most important part of this drill is I want you to go too slow. Right up to this jump, go too slow. We're not trying to clear everything. All we're trying to do is we're trying to time the front wheel lift that we did in exercise 2. When we time the front wheel lift, what we're going to do, guys, is we're simply going to practice letting the front wheel float up and land about the same time that the back wheel clears the lip of the tabletop. What this will allow you to do is to create good timing where you're pressing into the bike at the right time and you're allowing the bike to come up to you at the right time as well. Again, this is a timing exercise, not an air exercise. You do not want your back tire to come off of the ground at all. And another key thing here too is make sure that you're standing tall the entire time. If you find yourself crouching down on the way up, if you find yourself crouching down at the end of the jump, then go back to step number 2. You're not getting it yet, all right? Now, the final step, once you're able to execute the front wheel lift on the tabletop without having the back tire come up and follow you in the air, then it's time to move on and add a little bit of speed. All we're doing is we're going up to the jump and we're either standing tall or we're standing up as we go up the jump. Why this is so important is because this tabletop will catch us if you mess up. If you don't do this and you're an intermediate or an advanced rider and you don't know what you're doing, you will crash. It's just flat out. You need to train your body to do this. Now, once you've gotten this step down, and your front wheel's coming up, you just want to add a little bit of speed, and what you're going to notice is the back wheel will follow. It's pretty simple. Now, once you get in the air, you're going to notice, watch my torso here. The torso is going to track along a trajectory. And when we have this trajectory, what we might notice is that the back wheel is kind of hanging down low and the front wheel is up high. That's fine. What you want to do is you want to scoop your feet when you're midair so that you land both tires at the same time. So what we want to do is practice on this tabletop, landing both tires at the same time, and do that 30 to 50 times. Now you can do this in one practice session, or you can come back and finish this in about a week if you ride every day. Once you've gotten this timing down, then the goal is to be able to go fast enough to hit the tabletop where you can actually go across the entire thing, and all you do is add speed until you do this. Just add speed. Step 1, stand up. Step 2, let the front wheel come up in the air. Step 3, scoop your feet, call it a day. Now, one thing I wanted to add, here's some common mistakes that I run into. It's people, the number one mistake when you do these drills is that we kind of tense up and go over the bars a little bit. The reason why is because you may need to actually let yourself hang off the bars ever so slightly. The key here is you need to push directly into the ground. So for those of you doing a very small jump like this, remember the level lift from step 1 or the level pedal press from step 1? We want to go straight into the ground, not straight into gravity. All right. So if the jump goes like this, we're not pushing down and then getting compressed. What we're doing is we're pushing straight down, but perpendicular to the jump. So if the jump is going like this, we need to push straight into it. Now that almost feels like maybe pushing forward ever so slightly, but a good way to think about it is just we need to hang off the bars a little bit. Or we might notice that we're doing a little bit of a row motion for those of you familiar with rowing on the bike, rowing and anti-rowing. That's how it may feel when we get to this level. So what you want to do is adjust your body position to where you either have a little bit of row or you have a little bit of hanging off of the bars kind of a feeling ever so slightly as you're going up the jump. Again, 90% of all of the motion is going through the legs. You are not strong enough to jump using your arms. I don't care how many push-ups you do. Jumping is a leg thing, for sure. Nobody jumps with their arms. It doesn't work. So that's one of the most common mistakes I see. Now, let's tie it all together with the 2-tire approach. If you've gotten to a place where you can time the front and the back tire down, now what we want to do is you want to start visualizing what you're doing while you're doing it. And you need to pay attention to the torso and the 2 tires. the torso and the 2 tires. So remember how earlier I said, if you want to crash, just crouch when you're doing a jump. Now, if you want to land, I don't have any rhymes for that. Got no dad jokes, got no rhymes. Roast me in the comments. Come on, bring it on, guys. I'm saying I'm getting so much love in the comments, having a lot of fun, but I'm not getting the haters that I thought I would get. Come on, I need an enemy. This is too easy. All joking aside, what you do need to do is, if you want to land, you have to practice tabletops until you can get the torso to land in the right place. And then because the torso's trajectory is in the right place, then you can just put the 2 tires down where they need to go. And when you practice on a single jump enough times, you can start to target an exact spot you want your tires to land. So visualize before the run where you want your tires to land. Visualize while you're doing it. What's your torso doing and how does it feel in the air in order to do this? Now, here's the thing. If you can do this, you can visualize it and you can feel it, you can gap jump. And the only thing left is getting over a little bit of that fear. And the first time we do a gap jump, your heart rate's going to be up. You're going to be feeling like, oh my gosh, am I going to die? Am I going to go over the bars? And how am I going to survive this if something goes wrong? Cool. So if you're not feeling it, you can always come back tomorrow, warm up with drills 1 through 4 in the first part, and then build up to it. Or you can follow a better rider in if it's something you want to do. But honestly, what I would do is I would just see if you can feel it and visualize it and you go, yeah, that's it. I can feel it, I can visualize it, and I just did it 30 times on a tabletop. Go ahead and take it to the gap jump. Make sure you got some friends around, make sure you're hydrated, make sure you rested well last night, make sure you said your prayers because you're going to need them. Just kidding. Now, one thing I like to do is a speed check. And the very first time you go into the gap jump, it's really smart to let the people you're riding with know, hey, I'm just going to do a speed check. And then what you want to do is you want to come in and brake and just stop before you go off the launch and just take a look at, okay, where would I have landed at that speed? And if you should be able to feel now because you have 30 to 50 or 100 repetitions where you've done speed on a similar tabletop. Now you have those 30 to 100 repetitions you can call on and go, I think I was maybe a little bit too fast, but not too much. I think I can do it. Now, what you want to do is go back and, ride in again. And if you need to go a little bit slower, don't do a crazy brake check. Don't do anything wild. Just relax a little bit as you come into it. And remember to do the movement you committed to. Focus on one thing. Focus on the one thing that you did to get you over the tabletops. And that could be the torso feeling, or it could be the tire patches that you focused on. Focus on that on the gap jump. Now, if you're mid-air and what ended up happening is maybe you got stiff and you're a little behind the bike and the bike is in front of you, you can tap the front or the rear brake independently real quick and let it go. That'll lower the front tire down ever so slightly. It can help you a little bit. And another tip too is just put the hips to the hands. So if you get where the bike is kind of in front of you and you're leaned too far back, hips to hands, lean your torso forward, put the torso where it needs to be, and you will probably make it. It's going to be okay. Another tip too, if you're midair and you're a little bit off to the side, again, put your torso where it needs to be first and point your front tire in the direction it needs to go. Now, if you land a little bit off to the side and your tire's pointed in the right direction, it'll just ride under you. And if your torso's in the right place, you'll probably make it. So one of the main mistakes that I see with jumping gaps or jumping any kind of jump on a mountain bike is landing rear tire first. Okay, landing rear tire first can be absolutely deadly. It's really dangerous. I've seen some of my friends get knocked out. I've seen some of my friends get concussions and not be the same for months. And it's just really dangerous. So what we want to do is land either tires at the same time, or we want to bias for landing front tire ever so slightly first. Now that means a millisecond your front tire lands before the back tire. The reason why is because if you land back tire first and the trajectory that we're going, if our torso is going this way and we land back tire first and the back tire is pointed off to the side, it pulls us off balance and it slams you down on the ground really hard. And as well, if you land back tire first and you need to change direction, good luck. Maybe if you're extremely good at manualing and hyper athletic, you could maybe pull it off. But the truth of the matter is that if you land a little off balance, there's no way to really steer out of it if you're landing back tire first. So A little bit of nosing into the landing can really help, but again, it feels most comfortable if you put your torso in the right place to begin with. And man, I got to tell you guys, I've gotten out of some serious nose heavy landings, especially it used to be Diablo, but it's Mountain Creek Bike Park. I've gotten nose landed too flat on both upper and lower Dominion multiple times just because I was excited and I overshot it and I didn't crash once. So again, front tire first can be more safe as long as your torso's in the right spot. And again, how do we get our torso in the right spot? By launching the bike correctly, by taking that trajectory and launching the correct way. So I hope this helped you guys. If you like the video, like it below, leave a comment. And again, I'm waiting for some trolls. I'm waiting for some haters to come by and roast me. So if you guys got any good roasts, put them below. And join the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next episode. David Davidson here. Peace. I'll see you on the next one.